I think my friend from Kentucky and to my colleague across the aisle, they need to get back to work. You know, only in Washington, D.C., and only with this president are we operating with COVID as a national emergency. The only national emergency coming out of Washington is the economic disaster from the failed economic policies and the reckless spending of my colleagues. And it's created an inflationary firestorm, and people can't sustain it. Soaring interest rates, an economy teetering on recession, and $5 trillion of debt that have us dangerously close to the precipice of a debt crisis. Now that's an emergency. But our constituents across America, they got to go back to work. They got to take their kids to school. Somebody's got to teach them. Somebody's got to save a patient, serve a customer. They don't live in this fantasy world of Washington. My colleagues, unfortunately, have used the public health emergency in large part not to protect the public from COVID, but to promote the big spending, big government bailout agenda. And what I'm talking about is this, in the name of COVID, bailing out student loans that cost taxpayers $1 trillion, bailing out schools that don't open their doors to their students, bailout after bailout. That's what this is about. So while Democrats are jamming us with all these bailouts in the name of COVID, taxpayers can't get their Social Security benefits or their tax returns or their passports. You heard the stories. Here's my question. It's a simple one. How can the people's government serve the people if the people in the government don't come to work? That's the question for my constituents in West Texas. Here's the answer. It can't. It doesn't. And if hardworking Americans don't have the luxury of not coming to work and teleworking for the rest of their lives, then the Biden administration and our government employees should do the same. Get back to work, do your job, serve the customer, because that's what you signed up to do. And we're here to hold them accountable with all due respect. And I yield back the balance of my time, Mr. Speaker.